You know how when you listen to the sound of a waterfall, it kind of makes you feel like you have to pee?
Hello and welcome back to Allie Bakes. And also, Allie Hikes. Today we're making iced oatmeal cookies with the intention of taking them on a hike tomorrow. But more about that later. Let's get into it. This recipe begins by browning unsalted butter in a saucepan over medium heat. These are going to be brown butter iced oatmeal cookies, which are better than regular iced oatmeal cookies because the brown butter adds like another layer of flavor. When you brown the butter, you get more of like a nutty flavor, which I think is really nice. The weather has been beautiful in Utah, so we feel like we really have to go out and take advantage before it gets frigid and we can't leave our home. We're also preparing for a really big hiking trip in like 4 weeks, so I feel like we gotta get our hiking legs underneath us or I'm gonna perish. Browning the butter only takes around 5 minutes. You just want it to turn into a light amber color. Once it gets there, you're gonna put this butter in a separate large bowl and then set it to the side so it can cool while we prepare the rest of our cookies. God, I'm so scared. Oh my God. Perfect. We're gonna prepare our dry stuff. So I use old-fashioned oats for this recipe, but we need to grind them up so we've got some discrepancy of texture. You want some big pieces, you want some small pieces, and you want just a little bit of oat flour. While our butter cools, we're also going to mix together our dry ingredients. All of the ingredient measurements will be listed in the description box below. But we have 290 grams of all-purpose flour. I've got salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, and baking soda. And then we're going to whisk. And you can be certain that if you're putting cinnamon and nutmeg into pretty much anything, it's going to be pretty darn delicious. Lobo is already feeling the Christmas spirit being brought to us by these warm spices. Okay, now that our butter is coolish, we're gonna add the white sugar and then 1 cup of packed light brown sugar. All right. And then we're just gonna cream that together for about a minute. Oh! Oh! After you splash butter on yourself, you just want to cream these together until homogeneous. Once that's combined, we're going to add vanilla and then 2 eggs. We are also adding the secret ingredient for oatmeal cookies, which is unsulfured molasses. Oh, look how good he's being. Secret ingredient is 2 tablespoons of unsulfured molasses. Ooh! It's like Satan's barbecue sauce. Can this fit in here? Make sure you get your full 2 tablespoons worth of molasses and then mix to combine. But don't overmix. Just enough. You know what I mean. This next part I'm going to do by hand because I do not want to overmix my batter. So we're going to take all of our dry stuff and incorporate it into our wet. This is a little more elbow grease, but you will thank me when you have nice tender cookies. Once that dry stuff is pretty well incorporated, you can go ahead and add your blitzed oats and then combine that by hand with the spatula as well. When it is just combined, you can take your number 20 scoop and begin to plop out perfectly little round cookie balls. These are going to rest in the fridge for at least 3 hours or overnight. Because we used melted butter, we need it to solidify again before we throw them in the oven, or it will be a mess.
Oh my God. Okay. I will see you in 3 años. Años? That's not right. I'll see you in 3 hours.
Now, I promise I'm not trying to pull a sleight of hand here. I did go in right before I pulled these out of the fridge and reshaped them into more of a ball shape because they got a little flatty squatty after I had scooped them. And really, you shouldn't keep them on the trays in the fridge because you don't want the trays to get cold with the cookies, but I am a ding-dong and I kind of forgot and I didn't want to get another dish dirty, so I baked them on the cold trays and they turned into ginormous monster cookies because of the way they baked. If you get this mono cookie situation, you can fix that just by going around them with a cookie cutter and making them round again. I whipped up a super quick and easy icing sugar frosting, which is icing sugar, vanilla, and heavy cream. Put it in a piping bag and gave these boys the business. Store them in a cool place in an airtight container, and I will see you bright and early on the trail tomorrow morning.
Hello, good morning. We have made it to Big Cottonwood Canyon, right outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. We're gonna hike Donut Falls, and we're gonna eat our cookie when we get to Donut Falls. I got my water, I got my bear spray, in case there's any extra spicy Winnie the Poohs on the trail who wanna get our cookies. Let's go.
If you have not experienced Utah hiking in the fall, I cannot recommend it enough. It's easily 10 degrees cooler up here in the Wasatch Mountains than it is down in the Salt Lake Valley, and it makes for absolutely perfect hiking. The fall colors are starting to change. There was no one on this trail, which I was kind of surprised about. It's a one-way out and back, about 1.5 miles to get to the actual falls. There was a little bit of construction, so we had to take a detour. I think it was about a 4-mile trip in total, with very little elevation gain. Very easy. Near the end, we did come into some cool rock features, which are kind of fun to scramble on.
This is the dumbest way to do this, but I don't like going backwards. This is my patented crab walk method. That's not too shab. Not too shab.
I don't know if this is true or if it's just how it feels, but it feels like to get to the biggest waterfalls, you always have to hike a super long distance, and that's not the case with Donut Falls. The payoff is great for the easy hike, and the falls are quite beautiful and quite big.
This is the best part of any hike. It's when you get to your destination and you get to eat food. Why else do you hike? They got a little bit smooshed, but that's okay. My hands are a little dirty, but it's good for you. Okay, here we go. That's really heckin' good. It's so chewy. It kind of tastes like a gingerbread cookie. Like a gingerbread flavored oatmeal cookie. I cannot lie. This might be one of my favorite cookies I've ever made. And to enjoy it here, to enjoy it with you, couldn't be sweeter.
These cookies are the perfect treat to ease you into fall, whether you are on or off the trail. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.